Breaking here at the Live Desk tonight, a curfew is going to go in place for parts of downtown Los Angeles tonight. We've learned that will go into effect shortly over the next hour or so. It runs from 8 p.m. on the West Coast through 6 in the morning local time there. And the mayor warning here, anyone caught breaking that curfew will be immediately arrested. She added this is to stop the looting and vandalism we've seen in the overnight hours once the sun goes down. We've also learned about 24 businesses were impacted by looting in the downtown and expanded LA areas overnight. Today's demonstrations also turning violent at times, with nearly 300 people arrested, that according to LAPD. Also today, a federal judge announcing that he is denying Governor Gavin Newsom's emergency request to block the use of the state's National Guard for immigration enforcement. The governor there speaking to the state moments ago, slamming President Donald Trump.
He doubled down on his dangerous National Guard deployment by fanning the flames even harder. And the president, he did it on purpose. He again chose escalation. He chose more force. He chose theatrics over public safety.
And now to Capitol Hill tonight, Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton introducing 2 new bills targeting violent protesting. One of those would automatically revoke visas and deport any immigrant arrested during any violent protesting.
Testifying before House lawmakers, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth spars with Democrats. They argue deploying the National Guard and Marines is unnecessary, escalatory, and costly, resulting in a hefty $134 million from the Pentagon. Hegseth compares the protests in L.A. to the protests in 2020 over George Floyd's murder by police that started in Minnesota under Governor Tim Walz. Hegseth says the National Guard was called in too late during those protests.
And President Trump recognizes a situation like that, improperly handled by a governor, like it was by Governor Walz, if it gets out of control, is a bad situation for the citizens of any location.
The George Floyd protests resulted in destructive rioting, looting, and arson, particularly in Minneapolis. In L.A., officials describing the protests as mostly peaceful. Violence and vandalism, that has happened, but politicians and law enforcement in the state say they have it covered. In the meantime, U.S. lawmakers are reacting to President Trump's move to mobilize the National Guard to L.A. The GOP saying it shows ICE needs more resources. Meantime, Democrats say it's a distraction.
We must get the one big, beautiful bill across the finish line. Our bill includes funding for 10,000 more ICE officers and HSI criminal investigators to protect our communities.
He sees the protests in Los Angeles as an excuse to unleash more chaos and distract the American people from the failing economy and his plans to cut Medicaid.
The Pentagon says 2,000 members of the National Guard are needed. They join hundreds of Marine Corps personnel already there. That's in addition to troops who were called up by Trump late Saturday.